BB.
Flashbang.
Damn.
Two-sided map.
More like one-sided map.
Roger that.
Am I right?
Oh yeah! Grenade out.
We really do
No
hold
touching,
it
mate.
though. Don't worry, I've got this side.
Laying down smoke.
Sorry.
Right above you.
Potato BC.
Yes, exactly.
They have to go mid now, so
Rush mid with an XM, am I right?
Roger. Deploying flashbang.
flashing.
Flashbang.
Oh fuck, I thought I
Damn.
got that.
Flashbang.
Nice. I almost stole that one from you as well.
Bombs here.
Okay, quick. We are ready to get the skills coming in.
Oh yeah. When holding mid with an XM is the meta.
Alright.
And a scout, don't forget the scout.
They'll be ready for it this time. Unless the timing's terrible.
Molly.
Throwing fire. Fire in the hole. Incendiary out.
Yeah, B.
Calling flashbang.
Go B.
Smoke.
Okay.
Throwing smoke. Incendiary out.
One mid.
Big brain
Flash
smoke.
is B.
Throwing flashbang. Laying down smoke.
One was mid, I tagged him with an XM, so probably like 10.
Roger that.
Hey.
Throwing smoke. Throwing fire.
Of course.
Oh, it's a Viper, yeah.
They might be backing off.
They're coming.
Vipers.
Purple boost me over here.
Oh my god!
Shit, the right.
Are you fucking... He's on
What the
50.
fuck? Oh yes, but oh!
One more.
One was mid, by the way. Oh, he crashed.
Damn. Viper got 75% on a casual test.
No.
I would have gotten that guy if this wasn't a French server.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut the fuck.
Let's go earn our pay.
Yo, shut the fuck.
Shut the front door.
No sir.
Wholesome.
Laying down smoke. Oh.
Damn, that's sad.
They really
Calling
be mollying
flashbang.
me off.
Deploying flashbang.
It's a bunch of...
Laying down smoke.
B, one at least.
That's a copy. Flashbang.
on site.
Affirmative.
Is this A or B?
Heads
Sir.
Some team.
2 half HP. Yeah, holding mid with a shotgun's actually fine if you don't get mollied off.
Affirmative.
Just molling them off easy.
Yeah.
Incendiary. Throwing grenade. Incendiary.
They flashed
Throwing
me.
smoke. Smoke. Laying down smoke.
One is me with an
Fire
AWP.
the hole. Deploying flashbang.
I am.
Nah, they're
Why was no one well?
CT.
Laying down smoke.
There's a couple there.
Grenade out.
Mid.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shut the fuck up.
We're
Whoa.
doing this.
You're legit like 360 no scope battling him. Only. I don't know.
Grenade out. Flashbang. Throwing fire. Throwing
I
flashbang.
don't think you want to do that.
Hey.
Nah, you guys have got.
I think I do.
At least crouch.
Nice potato. Oh, I've got a boost here in mid next.
Throwing flashbang.
I think they're going B.
Can we split Viper into two separate people who can go one on each team?
Yeah.
I literally don't know how Crown plays on this ping, like, all the time.
Maybe it's fine.
This is fucking horrible. Yeah, I think he's just used to it by now, honestly.
Oh god, oh fuck.
Alright, I'm not pushing there as I usually do.
It's a.
Laying down flashbang.
They're on A.
Mid.
Deploying
Yeah, I'd say.
flashbang. Fire in the hole.
Mid with an AWP, watch out. Whoever yellow is.
Just kill
It's a
him.
me.
Just kill him.
Cramping mid.
It's
with
Viper, never mind.
I hate ops. Three come out of
Get
nowhere.
triple peeked. Save, save.
Ball.
All right. There's no stopping us. Nice. Woohoo! I like this. We got this. Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I wish they were never born.
Okay, I'm alone on B.
Grenade out.
Alright, well, three of us are crowded.
Smoke. Got up
I don't know why an extra seat would
Laying
be
down
mid, to
smoke.
be fair.
Please don't push
A
me
few
after
B.
ADP.
My bullet's through.
Can I boost someone at edge to rush
Someone
that out
buy
there?
me AWP.
No.
Stop off, men.
Let's make this right as rain.
CTs have 3 powerful angles on mid, yeah, so one tap all 3 of them.
Deploying decoy.
Squid game.
Flashbang. Throwing smoke.
What the fuck are these flashes?
Throwing smoke.
Kill. Nice.
Fire in the hole.
That's karma.
Karma for what?
For letting me die.
Laying down.
Okay.
Okay, I say go mid.
No, they're gonna think it's gonna be B.
No, but CTs don't have
But
a
that's why
utility
we're
on this
rushing
round.
A. That's why we're rushing A, man.
I'll rush.
Yeah, but we
mid to
can't go
A.
mid any other rounds.
Nah, but mid's useless.
Okay, fair enough.
Two mid. Oh my god.
There's 3 CT.
If you lose sight, you lose the round.
Now let's do it again.
Maybe mid would be better for teams if they could actually push mid another way.
The connectors would be useful.
Triple man, triple man, triple man.
Squeaky, space, squeaky.
You go into the corner, what the fuck? Corner, go into the corner.
What are you guys doing, man?
Well,
Squisky has like 20 HP. If you want to go kill him.
Where?
Nice. Where?
On A side.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna get naded. Are you ready?
yeah, everybody let's go red.
Oh my god.
How has he not died there?
On mid.
Does he have
It's
an exam?
too mid.
I headshot him at least 3 times. It shouldn't matter.
Okay, where's Squidski at?
Probably 1 bullet hit him out of like 10.
No.
Try nading A side.
What weapon is Squidski at?
Oh, he's not there. Oh, one in a doorway.
Plant it.
It's on
Purple,
clear sight.
it's clear.
Site's clear.
Thank you.
Oh my god. Hmm. Yeah, pushing mid is literally impossible.
Impossible.
I don't believe.
What the hell? Let's clip.
Towards A.
What are you guys doing?
I guess I'll just go B now.
Why is B 2 CT side?
There's 2 on B, man. There's no way.
What's this going?
I one tap someone A.
It's a 8v4.
There's one in the
Hopefully
doorway.
we can do this.
There's one at A in the doorway.
CT?
Oh, it's just you, Common. Sorry.
There's 2 on it.
Can we kill sight?
He's got an auto!
Last guy's A. They say.
I feel like they might rush together.
You rush B, don't stop.
It's a terrible idea.
Or is it?
They're
There's no
rushing
one
mid then.
here!
Yeah, I was right.
Mid, 4 mid, 4 mid.
Wait, can anyone? Oh no.
Ow!
I got him.
Sorry.
There's 3 CT. I mean 2.
Lagging. One's T-spawn.
Actually 2, I mean.
Oh my god.
sacrifice myself. I don't actually.
Want to see how hard it is pushing mid with an AWP? Just push it.
I can do it.
Do you know how hard it is pushing mid?
Guys, I told you,
Just
we kill
anyway.
them
Do you know how hard
I'll
it is
push mid, I'll
retaking
win.
either side? I think we all know very well.
I don't even know where he is. Nice trade, ABP.
Oh god, Viper.
Just shift, I bet they don't even know.
Grenade out.
He's on back A side.
He's gonna kill them all, look.
There's still one more A side.
Oh, there's a lot!
A
Nice
site should be
peek.
cleared, except for that guy.
He's on
They're
side.
gonna come from CT.
Sword
There's
off,
like
just
two
kill him
coming
with the
CT
sword
right
off.
now.
Go, go, go.
See, easy.
There's still one more.
They're like termites.
Yo, not gonna lie, this aimbot kinda trash.
Doesn't work on high ping.
Someone buy me a Krieg if you want.
If you want.
Thank you.
Right, push mid with a deagle, easy 1D. Oh god, I suck. Yo,
Can I please not hit Mull?
You have to
get
crouch.
off the ledge. I have to get off the ledge.
Sorry.
There's one white box.
There's one doorway.
How do I get up there?
Where's these
The
ones
fact
for
that
orange?
we won three rounds on CT side baffles me.
If we're just lucky,
Yes, we're better.
yeah,
Because we're better. Can you win a round on CT side? That's a real test of skill.
I'm on your head now.
they're fucking bad.
There's an angle backside AVP.
Why
I
is
hate
everyone
that.
Oh,
in this one spot?
Because it's a good spot. It's nice and grassy.
One back ace.
One's on mid.
ABP, if you peek him back, he's behind the curve.
Dead in
9.
2, 1.
Oh, that's the wrong.
What the heck?
Thank you, ABP.
That was totally a kill. I'm mad. I'm mad
Good
now.
shot from mid.
Thank you, ABP.
That's such a terrible angle, I hate it.
There's no way.
terrible
man.
angles.
There's no way from mid to B, that's the annoying thing.
Unless should be.
No, don't you see? You just have to go all the way to CT
Has
spawn.
B right now. Except Viper killed him, so I mean.
Molly him, molly him.
He has a scout. Let's just push together. He
No,
doesn't have a
he has
scout.
an arm.
He has a scout,
Nice
okay.
scout coming.
Oh shit.
You know what that's called? Peak? That's called karma.
For what? For what?
For all the
Fucking
times
hell,
you've
man.
killed Squidsky.
I literally killed him once. And that was his fault as well.
Oh boy.
I declare you
Yay.
dead.
Wallbang.
Oh, a nice try.
Yeah, he's got
Wait,
it.
does he have kit?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
I
right.
just got it in time if he didn't.
Ah.
Imagine winning a round in CT.
Brr.
Can anyone drop me a creek?
My heart is beating.
I would, but I cannot afford it.
I'm
Who needs
spaghetti.
it? Who needs it?
Someone, please.
I'll drop it.
Oh wait, what?
Oh, thank you.
No, that's not.
Wait, I can.
I don't like pushing anywhere, really.
Me too.
It felt,
Thank you.
it felt easier.
Oh, and they smoke off my favorite angle.
Oh, Squidky dead now.
Ow.
Let's go B maybe?
B.
Push me.
More like.
Just
B
wait till-
for easy breezy.
Oh yeah.
Is that a good angle?
Not really.
Well,
Oh, an MP9, my favorite.
Oh shit.
Boosted or something.
They're pushing the grass.
excuse me. Excuse me, sir.
You want a boost?
They come.
No!
What? Why has he got an orc now?
Easy breezy.
I see them. Let's go, my brothers.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's one close. Thank you.
Grenade. Throwing a flashbang. Throwing a flashbang. Throwing fire.
There's one back A site in the left corner, the close corner.
Just do B. Viper is B, so go A and we.
Oh. There's a lot A.
There's one more on site.
There's
Yeah.
still one site. Yeah, there's two site actually. There's two.
There's 2 on B.
We're literally all.
God, Squidski, there's only one
Oh,
left.
there's another one. One's CT.
We need to lose Molly all of A site before we take it.
Yeah, facts.
What am I doing here?
It's like a fucking clown car. Like
Go
6 of them
somewhere
are gonna
else.
appear from one
Go
corner.
mid with Dave. Okay, maybe don't go mid with Dave.
Nah.
Or yes.
nothing.
Always that
It's the
lucky
last thing they
deagle guy.
expect.
Yeah.
Think
They're
you're
gonna hate us.
1860.
Run B.
Are you gonna shift?
Nah.
Nah, dude.
My Molly.
Hey, my Molly's on go A.
Molly A site. Wait for the Molly.
And yeah,
Yeah,
Kill
he's
the
Molly.
people fleeing the
We've
fire.
got so
We
many
win.
eagles on last round.
We're poor, man.
Come on, guys, eh?
I'm gonna smoke it and then, yeah,
Oh my god.
I'm blind.
Oh yeah, sick one.
Oh no.
That is unlucky.
Alright.
Alright.
It's good to be back, boys.
That was
It's good to be
fun.
back.
Good to be back.
It's good to be back.
There's literally no one
Crushing
joining.
playtest. No.
It would appear that way.
Where's Crayon? Crayon should be here.
Yeah, no, he's gay, so he doesn't need to.
Oh yeah.
He's gay.
Sorry, forgot about that.
I'm sorry, is this supposed to be professional?
No, see, here's the thing. I'm not using it as an insult. I'm just saying he's gay. It's true. Don't ask him.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
This
He's
is actually a
serious.
casual playtest, so we have our casual manners.
It's very true.
Yeah, yeah.
Very true. Alright. Let's see if you back first.
I'm gonna go first.
Alright,
That's all.
Pete, go first.
Pete in game. Just gonna put God mode on. This feels. I feel like both sites are horrible to push. Like everywhere's horrible to push as soon as CTs have full utility and weapons. It's just trying to push. This is just nasty to me, especially. I don't know. When I looked at it before, it seemed fine because CTs. I feel like CTs didn't have many options, but then I realised on a however many it was, how many ever it was, with the amount of utility, it didn't matter whether there was any holding positions because it was just infinite smokes and molotovs and flashes just through any entrance. And same for A really. Peeking any angle on this is kind of terrible just because it's like it could be anywhere just as you peek and it's kind of terrible. It's like kind of just pushing against this and then having to run all the way here when it could peek out from anywhere. It's just kind of like, why are you flashing? Why? And it's just everywhere here. It's just, you have to push all the way up to here, then there's still getting up to here, then you've still checked barely any of the site because they can be hiding inside here, behind here, and just peek out like, oh yeah, you're out in the open, I'm on a headshot angle, unlucky. Or peek out from back here, or just peek anywhere really, and just, it's just hard in every way. Pushing mid is like pushing full body into a headshot angle. Is just kind of like, yeah, unlucky, you're dead now. Unless you get the timings on them and you throw Molotovs, actually trying to just Molotov that, then you have to push all the way up and they could just pop out anywhere because the timings are good enough for... I rushed up for early rounds and just came here. So the timings are good for CTs, and that just made it nearly impossible for the T's to push if I was good. I don't really know, I think mid is kind of pointless right now just because of this connector not being the greatest one to push as a T, just because you're kind of going out into here and like peeking from here is kind of odd to me just because of the door. It's like, I don't know, there's so many tight angles that you can just be shot from that it's kind of hard to push. I really don't know what to do with B. Maybe both make both sites not against walls, especially A, just because A is just back against the wall back here. It's kind of like push it out a bit at least. I don't really know. Like, kind of with the spacing of the site right now, it's kind of hard, but it's just it's hard to explain what would make it better in its current layout. Really, I think there'll have to be quite a lot of bigger changes that other people will suggest rather than me, because I don't really know what to change at the moment. But maybe make another connector to A B to that's like good, or maybe make an option to go here to T's to mid, because pushing just here against so many different angles. Oh yeah, there's this angle back here. I don't know whether anyone's said about that's just okay, a scout or something like that. Just peeking against this, and you can just gone again. And it's just horrible angle for T's to have to try and peek while you're hoping that someone comes around there as well, or peeks from down here. It's kind of just so many places for CTs that can hide, like behind here, behind there. They could have got up there. Loads of places. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know how to help that, to be honest. This is alright as a connector, I'd say, but it's kind of just wrap around into not close to the site. You still have to push through two quite horrible entrances into site, because if CTs know you've got mid and they've got that stuck off, they can just hold here, or from back here, or from back here. It's just, and just peek out whenever they want against a really hard entrance to peek. It's just, I don't really know what else to say really. Probably other people say it better than me, so that'll be me. It's finished.
Thank you.
Alright, who wants to give feedback next?
Albert.
Alright,
Yeah, man. Gotta be quick. Anyways, I'm coming around in the game. Start with A, B. Personally, I think T's are too limited here. I think, well, in terms of the entrance. But on site, it's too hard for CTs to hold. Like, the cover is terrible for them. Like, this thing, it creates bad angles. It's hard to defend against. It's annoying. I think you need to make more solid structures, and this stuff I don't really like. I don't like this wall either. It feels odd to hide against. I think you need a bigger bump side wall, more space. I think this cover is pretty odd as well. It's just annoying. And back here, like, I didn't like this. sightline, I guess. Just annoying. I feel like you cover it up. And then holding as T on B, I feel like that's really hard as well. Since you've got this and something like this, and or back here, and it's just hard. You don't have enough going on to retake, and then you get to A, which is the opposite in a way. It's just a cubby. It's really easy to hold. Hold nearly every time, to be honest. If T's are able to really get a good hold on it and get all this control. I feel like pushing A is alright as a T. Just that holding is a little hard from back here. I guess I can play here in cubby, but if you lose control of this area, it's really, I feel like it's really hard to hold A. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, maybe ignore that. I don't know. Personally, middle. I think middle is useless for T's. It's just the connectors are so far away from them. There's no point going middle unless like the whole team stacked on sites. No, the CTs are in middle. It's too much of a push for T's, and I don't know why T's kept winning. But yeah, that's all I have basically.
Alright. Let's give feedback next.
Yes, I would like to give feedback
Alright,
next.
sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I'm Tolland in game. So kind of the main problems with the map, I think, are obviously, in general, some areas are a bit cramped, obviously, and also, yeah, it's certainly a bit limited for terrorists. Yeah. I mean, yeah, both the sites, to be honest, I think are alright. I just think probably could do with making them like 50% bigger. And I think that would just make it better automatically a bit, because it is hella cramped. Yeah, it's very good for the shotguns. And because kind of the whole thing about T's not really having enough options, is mainly due to mid not really offering anything. Like you've got this, which is the closest thing to being like a viable route, but it's still really far away. And this thing here is even far away. And yeah, on the subject of mid, this entrance was really awful for terrorists. It's really easy for CTs to use utilities, whether it be smokes or nades or mollies or whatever. It was really easy to clear up this area. Yeah, and mid was kind of interesting because like you've got cover like this, which looks like it's meant to be for Ts, but it would never get used ever, basically. So yeah, the other thing is, like, I think incorporating height variation like bridges can be good, but it's like the last angle you expect, especially because it sees over this close crate as well. Like if you're coming here, you might want to pre-fire this, you know, maybe around there, but you're not really. I don't think you're really expecting that over there at all. Yeah. So I probably just ditch the bridge, and automatically, once again, that would be better. Also, stuff like this crate here, I think is kind of pointless because all it really gives is CTs to be able to get close. And like you can see, if you took out this crate, like it sounds like a small thing, but T's should be able to push up straight and get behind this container. Whereas if it's like here, you have to push out more. Like it sounds like a simple thing, or like it is a simple thing, but you know, just stuff like that helps kind of the flow for terrorists taking mid control. So yeah, Ace I think was fine. Just make it a little bit bigger in general. Because yeah, it was kind of annoying clearing out all the close corners. And maybe you could try and use less like prop cover, and you know, instead of putting this, you could put like a cubby in the wall or something, or maybe something the same on this side. Because yeah, it's always best to use geometry, not cover, of course. Yeah. Yeah, A site was okay. I think it played better than B. B site, to be honest, I didn't play B site that much, but I think that there needs to be some more substantial cover than this one, which is really wallbangable. Yeah, and I guess you could, like, I don't know, I feel like pushing up here was kind of not fun. Well, on top with all the other entrances, but yeah. I feel like this wall isn't really like substantial cover for T's pushing up because it is really wallbangable as well. So you could like put, I don't know, something that goes through here and comes out here or something like that, you know, just anything would be interesting. I guess the last thing I want to mention is like, how are you going to connect mid to B? Obviously I guess you don't really have to, but you know, you need to make some change for mid to be more viable. Because you know, going all the way here is not really a viable strategy at all. So I feel like, I mean, obviously it's up to you how you're gonna fix it, but because like your design for the site is alright, like it's quite cool with this, and you got this building, so that's fair enough. I think it is quite, you know, you want sites to be iconic, and I think you kind of got that going. So you could like shift the site, and then end up with the mid connector being more like have more like this being the connector, and then the C2 entrance could be over here if you like shift the site down this way, just as an example. Obviously you have to like mess with timings a bit, but you like looking at the site in its current state, there isn't, you can't really put a connector there. You might get away with putting one here, but you know what I'm
Thinking over there.
Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say. Like you gotta think about how you like where you're gonna like fit into. Yeah. I think that's what I've got. In general, yeah, I think it's fairly obvious what the fixes are, which is always a good thing. So, yeah, that's what I've got.
Thank you.
Alright, we'll see your feedback next.
Yo, can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, dudes, what's poppin'? It's Fizzy in game. You might know me from my iconic play at A site where I got an 8K with an XM. It was pretty rad. Let's talk about that. I really hated A site. I pretty much exclusively played A site. So let me tell you why I really don't like A site. If you just took the site from being in this corner and pushed it to be more around this pillar, possibly, that would fix a lot of my problems. Because right now, as a CT, if I'm coming out here, I'm gonna say, oh, maybe I'll sit here. Maybe this is a good play, and then I'll smoke up here. But it's kind of okay. It's a one and done spot. You know, that's all right. You start falling back a bit. I can play here. Oh wait, there's this upper area. Cannot do that. I could play back here, but I can't really do that because the players coming from this angle can jump around like Spider-Man, and that's a really unfavorable fight for me. Or they can just jump up like that. So then it's like, okay, I'll sit in this little corner here. But once you do it once, what happens every round, or what did happen, is everyone's just gonna molly the shit out of you. And because they molly the shit out of you, you either smoke it or you die. There's no in between. So then it's like, okay, I'll play around the hut. But you play around the hut, the same thing happens. You do it once, and then everyone starts mauling it. Okay, I'll play in this corner. Okay, you play that corner once. Even worse, this is wall bangable, so they can just wall bang you. It's a pretty exciting experience all around. And I feel like most of the problems on A-Site are due to the fact that the A-Site is enclosed in a sense where there's this invisible wall where it's like, this is the A-Site, really? Because even though the plant zone is out here, no one ever planted out here because it's just not safe. So everyone planted back here, and then it became like Inferno B-Site where everyone's hiding at the back of the site. But on Inferno B-Site, you have fucking coffins, you have a lot of routes for getting into the site. So I would either suggest having a route, like you already have this kind of area back here. I would highly suggest, if you're going to keep the A-Site being in this area, if you're not going to move it out or push this out more, what you could do is take a route back here, maybe even up here, and have it be like an indoor route that dumps you out behind the A-Site. So then the CTs have like another approach option. So then if I'm sitting back here like a little coward, someone can like peek me from there, and I'm like, oh no, shit, like they're coming for me. Damn it. But then I also want to comment on the fact that this area is really weird and janky. You have this crate here. I never was able to boost up here safely because as soon as you peek up here, there's this huge angle right here. And then you gotta peek out, gotta peek this, peek this, peek this, like cobblestone drop is kind of like a room. It's kind of like a contained area. There's like a little doorway, and when you peek up here, you know what you're gonna expect. You're gonna expect a bunch of terrorists looking down at you, but you have this like headshot angle. But here you have just like a crouching angle, which is really shitty. So if you could just take this crate and maybe make it like half its size or something, or you don't even need a crate here per se, because on top of that, then I could sit on top of the crate and have an even better angle here, which would make defending the site easier and wouldn't decentivize players from just camping back here like babies. You need to move something here so people can't get in this little tiny cubby corner, because this is stupid dumb, because no one ever expects you to be here, but everyone's always here. If the CT player model wasn't so damn thick, it would be really possible for ninja diffuses to happen like every round. I'm gonna comment on the fact that I don't think I ever saw a terrorist not like camp A for an extended amount of time, both on when I was playing T-side and when I wasn't, because it's just so rewarding coming back to this upper area. If some CT is in that corner, when they peek out, it's like bam, bam, they're done. Like, they're gonna die. And if they aren't, well, now you know that this whole, like, line is done, because if I'm a smart terrorist, I'm just gonna smoke this off. It's a pretty easy smoke to land. Now I know that, okay, well, half the site is already cleared. There's literally no cover here, because my teammates are gonna peek that. So all I have to do to effectively take a site is just volley off this back corner, and then clear this, like, behind the hut area. It's very difficult to keep control of A site. And like that one round where I got like an 8k or something, it was purely because no one threw a molly right here. One piece of utility would have stopped that entire play. I'm also going to comment on the fact that CT spawn feels very blank and empty, and I understand that it's like kind of basic for right now, but if you could just add like a fountain or something here, just something to like put something here, because what happened a lot is that terrorists would lurk and then they would just catch a CT who's sitting back here, and you can't really do anything about that. So some form of cover here would be pretty nice. I also feel like I agree with pretty much everything that's been said about mid. It is very difficult to take, but I also feel like that's because there's an absurd amount of bangable cover. So if I'm a terrorist and I'm taking mid, first of all, I gotta get to this cover, and it's kind of a long trek. It's a little bit of a ways away, but then I get to it, and it's all bangable. Like, what the fuck? I would really appreciate it if I get to this cover, and then it's like not just me gonna get headshot behind the cover that I worked so hard to get to. Because I have to deal with this shit, and this shit, only to just die anyways. So if you could either, like, make this cover, you could totally just, like, wall this up or something, like, raise this platform up, and then put a fucking crate here or something. I don't really know what to do with mid, but I definitely agree with, like, everything that people have said. Someone, I think it was Flash or someone, just said that, like, this connector for B is shit. Terrorists are never gonna get there, which is very true. The only time they ever get there is whenever there's like a 1v1. So that's frustrating as heck. I really like this bangable part at B. I wish it were a bit bigger, because I feel like because the cover, I understand it's like the size of this bridge, but like you could totally make these be like pillars on some kind of wall, kind of like you have here, and then just make the pillars like go up through it, if you know what I mean, and then have the wall be bigger. Because this was like the coolest part of the site, was this bangable wall, because there were so many like cool wall bang plays you could do, and that was really cool. I really liked that, because no other map really has something like that. But then I look at this site and I'm like, okay, well there's a wall here, there's a wall here, there's a wall here. There's already like dog shit cover everywhere as it is, yet there's 3 pieces of like similar cover. This functions like a wall, kind of, so it's like 4 pieces of identical cover are in the same area. So if you could diversify the options a bit, that'd be really cool. I would highly recommend just putting like a big boy crate here instead of this wall. One, because it's more sturdy, so it's like not gonna get wall banged by an op. So because there's gonna be oppers here, so that'd be cool. And also if you could just put some form of like, if you want to like shift the site in order to make a connector route possible, I only have like one actual simple solution that won't take years of just like not years, like hours of just remodeling this whole site to move it a bit. What you could do is, since you kind of have this area, and this is kind of like a redundant area in essence, you could just make this route here connect in here, if that makes sense. So then you work down mid and you come in here, and you won't have to worry about this long angle because there'll be like a wall or something, and then you come through here and you have the archway, and then you can push this site forward a bit, like towards T-spawn, just a tiny bit, and then by doing that, you can probably work out all the angles and suss them all out, and then you have a connector to B site that actually means something. Because right now it's just it's CTs for days. And then once you push out here as a T, it's kind of frustrating because you don't have shit to work with. There's not even a crate along this wall or anything. I highly recommend making this, I know it's this cool like angled shape or whatever, but you should really make this a flat wall and put a crate here. If not for like the fact of T's pushing, for the fact of T's defending, because as a T, if I'm defending the bomb, I have to be in one of the entrances. I can't play on site because if I play here, I'm gonna get peeked from here. If I play back here in this corner, I still get peeked from here, and even here. And now if I play behind this wall, it's like we've established, it's bangable. And also, it's they can peek me from two different sides. That's a losing battle. And then, so the only like other thing I think I'd really have to offer is that the routes the terrorists push in are very boring, and I would recommend making this one more exciting, because you have like on A site it's kind of cool because you got this upper garden thing area, and that's pretty neat. That's kind of cool. I mean, it causes a lot of problems, but it's still cool. It's like fun to play because then you get this cool like headshot battle with this guy back site, and it's like, whoa, it's so cool, wow, and I'm having a fun time. Until I'm not, but I had fun. But then I go back to B site, and it's just this long ass like corridor that's got shit in it, but no fights ever happen here really, because it's just a CT peeks this, they're gonna die because of course they are. I would really like to see maybe like you push down here, and then there's like a doorway here, and it takes you to like a balcony, and then you jump off a balcony to get to site. So then that way the T's have some height advantage when they're coming into the site, and then you can have like really cool fights because it's like, oh, now there's like an under balcony position, and now there's like this whole area could be redistributed in a different way. You could have like a pit thing. I'm not trying to copy Inferno, but you could have like a cool like pit area or something. Just height diversification really helps your map not feel very samey. Because at least on A side, because I played A side every round as a CT and pretty much as a terrorist, it felt like every round played the same. But because there was this RNG of like, oh, this height variation up here, like they could peek me from up here, I gotta play differently. It made it still enjoyable. If I were playing B side every round or mid, I would want to die because like this is so boring. Sure, you've got this little ramp here, like that's cool, I guess, but that's it. And then you got this little thing here. But like B site, in my opinion, is the better designed site because it has this cool bangable thing. I really like this. I just wish that the site could like expand. I wish the surroundings of the site would be as cool as I know cool is like a very subjective word, but I wish that it would feel as fun to play as this bangable wall. Because like other than like the memorable moments of this match, it's like, oh, the two wall bangs that happened through this wall were really cool. On A side, I guess for me personally, it'd be my like XM power round. But then other than that, it's like shit. Like it was really hard. It was tough. It was really frustrating. But it was still fun. Like, I still had fun. Oh, and this squeaky, like, never got used by anyone. I feel like mentioning that. It was only used by CTs rotating from mid. And that's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know what you do about this. It's a cool concept, though. You can maybe do more height variation. I don't know. Maybe it dumps out right here. But then I guess that'd be redundant for terrorists. I don't know. You can figure something out. That's about all I gotta say.
I like your sarcasm.
Oh, okay. You're welcome.
Thank
Alright.
you, as I said.
Who wants to give feedback next?
Can I go?
Yeah, Miro.
All right. So like a lot of things have already been said, so I'm gonna be short. The main problem I see with the layout is obviously that you don't really have any connectors in mid, and this one's basically not used at all. So the only option you really have is flank, and that kind of defeats the purpose because if the CTs know you've pushed mid, then they know you're gonna flank and they're gonna be prepared for it. So Yeah, and the problem is that you don't have much option to change that, other than putting connectors like really deep in here, which you already did, and it's kind of useless. The only option I see would be like pushing the sides further in this direction, so that you could have some connectors like maybe up here or something. Because right now, yeah, the only viable connectors would only be like around this area, and to get here is like really hard because you have to push so many angles, which is another problem about this map. Is it's so cluttered. Like, okay, at the start of the round, you know where enemies going to be coming from. So basically in mid, you pick this angle first, then you pick this angle and this angle. So you have like 3 angles to worry about mainly. But like, say you're coming here late round, they could be anywhere. They could be here, here, here. And you gotta check like this, and then yeah, check where you want to go. So you have to check a lot of things to get just into this area, which doesn't really help you at all. So yeah, and it's kind of the same everywhere. You have so many like weird different angles because of the clutter in the map that it feels unsafe as long as you don't know where every enemy is. Except for that, yeah, the sides, as people said, were kind of cramped, and you didn't really have much space. If you have an AWP, the only viable thing you can do is like hold these long angles, like on D as well. But as soon as they push this, or they're here, you can't really do anything with the AWP except for maybe fall back and hold like this angle or this. But yeah, that's really all I got. It has already been said.
Thank you.
Alright. Anyone else have anything to say? I'm gonna assume no, because everybody's gone. So I'll go ahead then. I'm Squisky game. I'm not too sure what to say. I will say that mid is super impossible to take if CTs actually use any utility at all. And so how some maps like Mirage get around that is, so in Mirage, the CTs get to the window about like 1 second basically before the Ts. Like there's no time to set up utility before the Ts can peek, which I think might be something to look into. Because right now it's way too easy to just get stuck right here from mollies and smokes. So that's an option. There's other things you could do. I'm not going to get too into them right now, but basically CTs have way too much advantage in mid because they can just stop terrorists from going there with any utility, really. I see what you did here. You put no collision, or you put no collisions on this, so that you put a clip rush on it. But what you should really do with things like this is leave the collision model on if possible, and then also put a clip over it, like completely over it, because like otherwise you can get things like this. You can lose weapons in it, in the bomb and stuff. Well, probably not the bomb if it's a clip rush, but also, you know, grenades. Obviously, you could get around that by just putting a grenade clip and a funk clip V physics on this too, but usually it's easiest to just leave the default model on collisions and put the clip brush over it, like just completely over it, so that you don't step on the actual model. A site, it felt almost the exact same as the last playtest, mainly because it's still in this corner. Sites that are in corners like this will almost always play the same. They're really hard to retake, as well as, you know, like, it's not super fun to hold them because, like, you know, if you're here, like, you can't go anywhere. You just have to sit here and defend. Like, there's no really place for smart plays here in any capacity, really. That's why I still think that you should really expand this area and make the site in the middle of like a huge area instead of being against a wall in a corner like this, because the gameplay isn't super fun like that. Like a lot of, if you look at official maps, rarely do they ever have sites in corners like that. Usually it's in the middle of a big open area. I can't even really think of a map that's against a wall like that, or that has a bomb site against a wall like that. I mean, like Cache B, kind of, but that's like a full room, really. You could look around and find examples, but for the vast majority of bomb sites, they're just out in the open, like in the middle of a room, which I think is something you should lean towards. This area was a bit better because it was less cramped, and honestly, I really didn't play it that much, so I can't give too much feedback on it. Really, all I can say is, I don't know. It didn't seem like anything super special. Like, it was okay, I guess, but it has a similar issue where the bomb site's in the corner, and there's not really a lot of interesting things you can do to play the site. So, like, okay, so you smoke this. You just hold this one entrance, like, on the site. So, like, you're still basically holding the site if you hold that choke point. There's nothing interesting you can do to, like, walk around to the other side of the site because you have to pass through the site if you come through this door. And that's just an issue with your sites being against walls and corners like that. It's just usually not really very fun, and that was an issue with the last playtest, and I'd still like to see that change if possible, because it's just never really fun, in my opinion. Also, you got a gap. It's probably overpowered. They're probably not going to keep it in the map. The structure overall, like the skeleton of the map, I want to say seemed okay, but the bomb sites are just pretty boring. I really want to say, just because they're in corners. And then the thing with mid, how terrorists need a bit of an advantage because it's just not really fun to play mid as a T right now, just because of how easily you can get blocked out by utility. And I think that's pretty much all the feedback I have. Yeah,
So-
okay, that's all the feedback I have.
Shoulder peaks are no longer a problem.
No, it's not really. I'd say the biggest issue is the bomb sites really aren't that interesting or fun, really. Mid also is a bit of an issue. It's not really fun to play because of how easily terrorists can get blocked out. And once terrorists are in, they have to worry about a lot of headshot angles. Like this, I do not like this headshot angle. This is really not fun to play against. I would really like this be fixed if possible. Because there's some spots, I don't know if it's like right here or something, where they get a headshot angle right here, and it's super hard to hit. So I would really like to see that change. And this upper part, like, it's really weird because, like, you can see from the upper part into the main entrance. So, like, you're exposed from, at minimum, 2 places whenever you walk into mid, basically. Like, you can peek this first, but, like, you're almost immediately exposed to this, as well as anybody boosting on the dumpster, or anybody standing on the dumpster, or then you could have people hiding right here. Basically, CTs have way too many things that they can do in mid, and terrorists have, like, nothing. But I would say that shoulder peaks are not an issue, really. At least not your main issue at this time. You have any other questions?
No, it's fine. Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna leave then. So, thank you guys
Alright,
for coming.
see ya.
Yep, and
Ooh, that was fun.